This video will go over 3 ways of using the quiz activity within GauchoSpace. First, we'll look at a quiz that uses conditional release, in which a preceding question must be answered to unlock a second question. Second, we'll look at a quiz that uses a set of random questions pulled from a category in the question bank. Third, we'll look at an example of an informative quiz to display content and ask questions with multiple tries. First, we'll look at a conditional quiz. We can preview the quiz by clicking here. We can see that questions 1 and 3 are available, but 2 and 4 are not. When we click on the first question and select an answer, and then click check, we now have the second question available to answer. We can see the same when we select an answer for the third question and click on check. Now the fourth question is available as well. This setup can be especially useful if there is information in a question that you do not want to have made available to students before answering a preceding question, or if a question has information that would give the correct answer away for the preceding question. To view the settings to make this possible, I'll click on Edit Settings. I'll then click on Expand All and scroll down to Question Behavior. To set this kind of conditional style of questions, you'll need to either use immediate feedback or interactive with multiple tries. In this example, immediate feedback is used, and the conditional questions can only be accessed once the preceding question is answered and checked by the student taking the quiz. The other option using conditional questions is interactive with multiple tries, as well as the option to allow redo within an attempt here. These options are useful if you're interested in creating practice or informative quizzes or another low-stakes quiz option. With one of these options selected, you'll then need to go to the Edit Quiz page here. Here you can click on the locking icon between questions to make them conditional and only accessible if a preceding question is answered. As we saw with this quiz, questions 2 and 4 are only accessible if questions 1 and 3 are answered. And here we can see the locking icons between these questions here and here. I'll now go back to the course page to look at a quiz using a random set of questions. And I'll click on the random poll quiz. I'll now click on the Edit Quiz to show the question setup for the quiz. Here we can see 6 questions are listed as random, and we can see in parentheses Baseball Intro Quiz. This indicates the question bank category that the questions are being pulled from. We can also see that these are random questions by the presence of the dice icon on the side here. To see the question bank category used, I'll click on the question bank tab here, and then click on Categories. Here, if I wanted to add a new category, I could do so at the bottom of the page and select what parent category I'd like to nest the new category under. For our needs, I'll click on the Baseball Intro Quiz link here. Here we can see that there are 12 questions within the Baseball Intro Quiz category. If I wanted to add another question to the category, I could do so by clicking on Create a New Question here. I'll now go back to the quiz question page by clicking on Edit Quiz here. If I wanted to add more random questions pulled from a question bank category, I can do so by clicking on Add, and then on Add a Random Question. The category dropdown allows me to select which quiz category to choose my questions from. So I can select Baseball Intro Quiz. I can then select the number of random questions to pull from the category. Below I can see the specific questions in this category. I could then click on Add Random Question, and this would add 6 random questions from the Baseball Intro Quiz category. I'll click on Cancel now and go back to the course page. So our last quiz example for the informative quiz here. Here we have an example of an informative quiz to deliver content. I'll click on Edit Quiz to show the quiz structure. In this quiz, we see there are 2 description pages used to deliver content here and here. After the description pages, there are questions to check for understanding here, here, and here. To add a description page, you would click on Add, and then add a new question. Then scroll down on the left side and click on Description, and then click on Add. Here you can give the description page a name, and then in the question text box, you can input whatever content or information you would like to deliver to students on the page. I'll click on Cancel, and now show a preview of the quiz. Click on Preview here, start a new preview. So first we see a description page of text. Students could read this text and then proceed to the next page. Here we have a multiple choice question to check for understanding based on the previous description page of text. Then on the next page, here we have an embedded YouTube video that students could watch. We can click on Next Page. We have 2 multiple choice questions that are based on the content delivered in that embedded YouTube video on the previous description page. And then on the next page, we have an essay question asking students to respond and give their reflection on the content delivered within the quiz. This concludes our video on quizzes for conditional questions, random questions, and quizzes for instructional purposes. If you have any questions, please email us at help@collaborate.ucsb.edu.